What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here again. We've got a match tomorrow, 10:45 kickoff in Sydney. The Spurs squad have made their way over the divide from New Zealand to Australia, and Spurs play Sydney tomorrow and 10:45, which I'm very much looking forward to. We have got a lot of transfer news to get into. We've got the predicted lineup to get into, and who better to do it with than Mr. Brian Daigle. How are we doing, Daigle?
Doing very good, brother. Doing very, very good. Had a great day at work. Big day for me today, so I'm delighted. Yeah, life is great. Life is good. And now I get to spend time with you and the We Are Tottenham TV army. What could be better?
What could be better? What could be better? Maybe we'll get to bring your mood down a little bit when we talk about the transfer updates, but we'll see about that. But before we get into it, let's give a massive shout out to OK Jersey, okjersey.com. 10% off all your shirts that you buy from them. The code is Spurs. That is pinned to the live chat, as you can see right now, with the link and the code. All your top jerseys, top quality stuff from OK Jersey. Do remember, when you're ordering, get a size up. They've got the new Spurs shirts on there, home and away. The training gear will be with you very, very shortly as well. They got shirts from all over the Premier League. If you're not even a Spurs fan watching this show, they've got all the international jerseys, everything that you could want. They have got you covered, and top quality, as a lot of people in the chat have been telling us. Go get your stuff from okjersey.com. Like I mentioned, 10% off with the code Spurs. And yeah, the best in the business, people. So I know Daigle's getting his shirt very, very soon, but hasn't got it yet.
Waiting for the numbers to be confirmed, and then they come.
So let's get into it. And let's start off talking about some potential incomings. And the first player we're going to speak about, no, it's not Savinho, but you could have guessed it, because it is Eli Junior Kroupi. A lot being said about him over the last 24 hours. SZY is saying that Tottenham do intend to make a proper move for Kroupi at some point. The current focus is finalising a deal for Savinho and finding solutions for Bergvall, Vicario and Romero. Gerard Romero and a few Barcelona journalists have been talking about Kroupi in recent hours. So Gerard Romero says Bournemouth want £110 million for Kroupi. Barcelona have explored Kroupi as an option in case Julian Alvarez does not advance. Ben Jacobs says that Bournemouth have not put a price tag on Kroupi despite the suggestions. Kroupi is on the radar of several clubs, including Man City, Arsenal and Barcelona. As with Alex Scott, Bournemouth do not wish to sell. Helena Condis, again, who is a Barcelona journalist, says that Tottenham Hotspur transfer target Eli Junior Kroupi now wants to join Barcelona. It is understood that Bournemouth forward views Barcelona as his dream move, despite their big interest from Tottenham. However, Fabrizio Romano says that Barcelona are not proceeding in talks with Kroupi at this stage. Understand that Barca will not advance on an option as present, and Bournemouth have informed clubs about their stance, and they have no intention to sell him this summer. I do believe that every player does have a price, and if a club does meet that price with the right conditions, he will go. But yeah, he's saying Barcelona are not kind of in talks at present. But I do feel that there is a bit of truth in what Gerard Romero is saying, that Barcelona are interested in him, but only in the case that they don't get Julian Alvarez. So I guess you have to wait and see how the Julian Alvarez deal progresses or not. And then maybe they might make a move for Kroupi, which, you know, probably suggests that Spurs should get a move on and get ahead of the competition in this stage.
100%. I was about to say, just before you said that bit, let's hope it doesn't come to us waiting to see if the Alvarez deal falls through and we get it done. I think it's, Joe, I actually think this is mad that a young guy, a brilliant talent, can have one good season. We're talking under £1 million.
Yeah.
That's the way the market is now. It's insane that this is where we're at. But I hope we get this deal through. And as I've said, and as my golden rule is, you've named a load of sources, a load of clips of what they've said, but the GOAT has said not one word. And until Ornstein says something, this is all clout chasing, snippets, regurgitating old words, retweeting old stories. So I'm not in the least bit concerned by any of this because it will be Ornstein that will deliver the blow that will, or the bomber, should I say, not the blow, the bomber. So until he speaks, it's all hot air to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think look, I guess maybe what I said while saying that we're waiting for players to leave, maybe so we have a bit more liquid cash so we can put more money up front for Kroupi. So I guess we got to wait and see what happens there. And there's been a bit of a situation developing on the Romero side of things with Vicario. Obviously, we haven't heard much over the recent days. And on Bergvall, I think Nottingham Forest still there, but we got an update on Bergvall as well. So I guess just watch this space again on Kroupi. Again, it's the waiting game for another player potentially to come in. But Spurs do have some alternatives they've got lined up in case Kroupi does not work, and one of them is a player called Cody Gakpo, and obviously we've spoken a lot about him in recent months. As Timothy says, the main alternative target to Kroupi is Cody Gakpo. There is one more name on the list as well, which I think you'll prefer over Cody Gakpo, but I just can't see us doing a deal for Gakpo. I know Liverpool are in advanced talks or in talks to sign Barcola at this moment in time. However, I think even with Barcola coming to the club, I don't think they can afford to let Gakpo go because they've been decimated in the forward line. Salah's gone now. Ekitike is injured for the first half of the season. So you're thinking like they need like 3 in there without even selling Gakpo. So I just can't see them sanctioning a move for Gakpo.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what I was going to say with the Kroupi thing as well, with money that could be coming back into the club, we've seen ENIC over the last couple of years. They did it this season. They put another 100 million cash in, couldn't they? Could they not put another 100 million in, knowing that it's coming back from future sales? I mean, like I said, I'm not one of the financial ones that know all the ins and outs of how it works. But with all these players these clubs being linked, surely if ENIC know or the Vinay, Mawson know who's going out and for what value, they can say, all right, we can stump this up to get the deal done. Now, I have to say Cody, because every time I try to say Cody's surname, I don't know why, I go Gapco. So I'm going to stick to Cody. Yeah, I'm not. This one I'm so up and down on all the time. I agree with you. I can't see Liverpool wanting to let him go with the state of their forward line at the moment. I just think this deal will be hard. As you saw in the World Cup, he can either be really, really unstoppable or very, very predictable and ineffective. So he's not anywhere near the top of my list. I'd rather we go get Kroupi done. But obviously we're looking at alternatives. It's good to see. We're talking yesterday, weren't we? Have Spurs got the alternatives should option A not be there? So obviously this rumour has been dragging on. And we'll see. But it doesn't excite me, this one.
I mean, yeah, look, I've also got a few mixed feelings on it. I know he's a player that's shown and proven that he can get goal contributions in the Premier League, and that's something that we desperately need, obviously, with the forward line. So I think it won't be an exciting signing, but it might be a good signing, if you know what I mean. It might be an effective signing. So I wouldn't be totally against it, but I'd prefer to obviously get Kroupi through the door or get some other exciting targets through the door. But the market out on the wing, the market up front ain't great right now. That is the truth of it. So I think Gakpo, look, if we bring him in, we're probably going to be looking to move him out in the next 2 or 3 years anyway. But he's a player that can play up front, can play on the left wing as well, and he's proven that he can get goal contributions. So I think if we do go for Gakpo, it'll be really late in the window. I don't think it will be now.
But the thing with Gakpo, would he come to Spurs? Liverpool, he's operating mainly on the left, doesn't he? So we haven't really seen him up top as a 9. Would Spurs see him as a 9? Could that be a much better version of the player? So like I said, the versatility of being able to cover 2 positions is something we're obviously looking for.
Yeah.
But is he going to be that number 9 if he's playing for Spurs that gets us 20 plus goals? Don't know.
Well, again, I do think it'll be one late in the window once Liverpool kind of acquire their targets. Another alternative Spurs are looking at is Omar Marmoush of Manchester City. Timothy says Marmoush is another option. However, it is unlikely Man City sell both him and Savinho to Tottenham this summer. I mean, look, if they're willing to let Marmoush go and willing to let Savinho go in the same summer, I don't see why they would block, him and Savinho going to Spurs if they want to get rid. I would prefer Marmoush to Gakpo. I think that he's a better 9 than Gakpo. On the left, I've never really been that convinced of Marmoush, but I'm much more convinced of him up front, and I think he's a hell of a lot better than what we got in Richarlison and Solanke. So I think if he is available, I think we should go for him if we can't get Kroupi over the line.
All day long. All day long with this guy. The way I look at it, Ben, and people that are obviously in the chat, I want Spurs, if they're looking at a left winger and a striker, I want one that their best area is striker and that can play left wing, not a left winger that can play striker. And Marmoush really excites me. I think he's a top draw player. Pace, brilliant finishing. This one I would take all day long. I think he should be ahead of Cody. He could be great in a De Zerbi side. I would welcome this signing all day long.
Same. Now we move on from the forward line and we look at the midfield, as there's been some updates regarding Alex Scott of Bournemouth, and Spurs Journal saying that Alex Scott is under consideration. However, we would need to sell more than just Sarr and Bergvall. SZY is saying Spurs will go for another midfielder if we sell Bergvall and Sarr. So, we spoke about this yesterday between Alex Scott, Morgan Gibbs-White. I think Alex Scott, as much as Bournemouth say he's not for sale, I do think he's probably easier to retain than a Morgan Gibbs-White, as we learned with Morgan Gibbs-White last summer. But I think, look, the reality is Alex Scott, he's got 1 year left in his deal. He's refusing to sign another contract. So I find it so hard to believe that there isn't a price. I mean, they're not going to stick to that price of £85 million, surely, for Alex Scott, because they're going to risk losing him for free next summer. Like, how are they going to stick to that? That's the word coming out of the club right now, saying they're not going to sell him for anything less than 85. But no one's going to pay 85.
You never know in this window. If we're talking under £1 million for Kroupi, you just absolutely never know. Look, I think with Alex Scott, we all know that should we come in, and there are clubs like the two disgusting ones you've got next to us on the cards there of interested teams, he'll choose us.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Is he easier to get than a Gibbs-White? I think. Do you know what? With the Gibbs-White, I think Glasner is quite exciting for them. So that could be an issue. But I'd like to see Alex Scott at Spurs. I think he's a really good player. I think we should have got him before Bournemouth got him, in all honesty. And we would have been absolutely laughing our heads off. But is he going to go this window? We'll put it this way, we're not going to get him and Kroupi. We're talking about Marmoush and Savinho. There's absolutely no way we're getting Scott and Kroupi. And if Kroupi
that's for sure. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. And if Kroupi is number one, I can't see us doing Alex Scott, but I would like to. I'd like to see him in a Spurs shirt one day. That's for sure.
I'm actually mistaken, as people are rightly making out on the chat. His contract's not till 2027; it's till 2028. So he's actually got 2 years left. So that make more sense why Bournemouth are holding strong this summer. But I still think that if he's refusing to sign a deal, there's a deal to be done there for Tottenham Hotspur, and maybe it will go to the likes of 85 million. But I think if we do get rid of those three midfielders in Bergvall, Sarr, and Bentancur, or even just two of them, then I think Spurs should push the boat out and go get Alex Scott. He's a player that will bleed for the shirt. Born lily white. You know what I mean? Bring him in.
100%. And like I said, 2 years. And obviously, Bournemouth don't want to risk it going down to 1 year, then whatever. We know Bournemouth are very, very good at getting their players out the door at very, very high valuation. Look what they did with their back three. Or three of their back four the season before. They will demand top dollar, like Brighton, and they won't. Remember the days of the big clubs coming in and taking players hostage, and those days are over. These clubs are run expertly well.
Tell Newcastle that, mate.
Yeah, but look what Bournemouth do with the money they bring in for the size of the club and the size of their stadium. They're a wonderful football club and a wonderfully run football club. They'll be, if they say 85, I don't think they'll go below it.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. It's time to test their resolve. I mean, we've heard from various different journalists that Chelsea have been in contact. Arsenal maybe want him as an alternative to Bruno Guimaraes, albeit it looks like Bruno Guimaraes is advancing now. So if it's between Spurs and Chelsea, there's only one place he's going. And I think, I do think that Spurs need to make their move.
Yeah, I mean, for Chelsea, Alex Scott seems too young for them right now.
You're probably right about that.
Way too young.
You're probably right about that. They're turning into an old pensioners' home. Was it Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck over there? So
there you go.
I guess like with Chelsea, I think it does give a bit of a much-needed experience with a very young squad. But look, let's move on. Let's talk about potential outgoings. As Lucas Bergvall, SZY is saying Lucas Bergvall is still expected to go, and Tottenham will enter the market for a midfielder if they manage to sell him and Pape, like I mentioned before. So Nottingham Forest, I think Himothy also said that he's fully expected to still go to Nottingham Forest, but it's gone a bit quiet on that, hasn't it, over the last couple of weeks? Do you think that it's a deal that will get done?
I think it will, but I think it might go a little bit later into the window, like just before the season or near the end of the window. I think he's going to one of the two clubs we got mentioned there, and I think Forest will get the deal done. We never know what's going to happen. Hopefully, has he actually even played a minute in pre-season?
No, not yet.
Okay, so he's gone on tour, but he hasn't played a single. Again, I mean,
plenty of players haven't played a minute yet.
Yeah, but you'd think you'd want to get him in the shop window, get him doing some bits and bobs. But I do expect him to leave the football club this summer. Yeah,
they're saying that Spurs want 60 million to let him go. Obviously, we've had bids rejected of under 50 million. Yeah, you would think maybe like between 50 and 55 million a deal will probably get done. But look, if we're selling to Forest, you know, we should demand Morgan Gibbs-White in negotiations if Alex Scott's not going to happen.
All day long. And do you know what? If we get a bit of 55, 60 million, if we turn that down or play silly buggers with it, that is incredible business, incredible profit, and money that can go back into getting the players that De Zerbi wants in. So let's hope another big comes in and Spurs take it. Yeah.
Another player we're going to speak about is another midfielder in Pape Matar Sarr. Two updates on this. SZY is saying Sarr is also expected to leave Tottenham this summer with an interested club expected to step up their interest soon, unnamed club. And Paul O'Keefe says that Tottenham midfielder Sarr was previously offered to Brentford. However, the Bees were not interested at the time. However, there is a potential that Brentford revisit this before the transfer deadline date. So I think that would be a good move for both parties, to be honest. I think Sarr will get into Brentford's starting 11. I think they'll like him there. It gives Sarr the opportunity to start in the Premier League and give Spurs to probably get Premier League money for him, whether it be, I don't know how much it will be, 20 million, 25 million, around that kind of ballpark figure.
Yeah, and you look at it, I mean, I saw some people saying, obviously, with this has flared up because of the Henderson to Chelsea links. And then it creates a pathway to get him. I think it'd be a terrific move for Sarr. Go to Brentford, he'll be ever-present when available. I think he'll do good things there. And it is the break. I think, again, like Romero, there's players that the water's just run dry and it's just like time to have a fresh start. And Pape Matar Sarr definitely needs one.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's hope something can progress on that stage. Now, let's finish on talking about Cristian Romero. There's just been an update. So we know that Inter Milan got the here we go yesterday for John Stones. And then everyone was like, oh, is this going to impact the Romero deal? And then a few other journalists were saying it's a completely separate situation. Romero's nothing to do with Stones. And I was thinking about it and I was looking at the centre-back stat, including Stones, who they've got on the books. And it's like, are they actually going to pay the money for Romero when they've got Akanji on the books, Stones on the books, they got Bissek on the books, they got Bastoni on the books, they got a couple of other ones in there as well. I think Pavard has just come in this summer as well. And you're thinking, are they actually going to go get Romero? And Fabrizio Romano has just done an update saying with Inter now covered at centre-back following the agreement to sign John Stones, their position on Romero has changed. Although Inter remain in contact with Romero's reps, unless his demands come down, the deal is effectively on hold for the time being. So that does not sound like a good update in terms of Romero going to Inter. We know there are links there with Barcelona as well. However, they need to get a centre-back out to bring him in. And that there's no talk of that right now. So what are you thinking about this Inter Milan situation?
It was all going so swimmingly, wasn't it? It was all going wonderfully well when we streamed yesterday. There's no John Stones news to Inter. Then with it, it's how quick it can change, isn't it? Within literally hours, it changes. Hopefully, this doesn't. From what you were just saying, it's Romero's demands that they're asking to lower. Is that what you were saying?
It could be both. I don't know. The update says the position on Romero has changed. Unless his demands, yeah. So they're talking about personal terms, I think.
So, I mean, if he wants first-team football, if he wants to go back to Italy, a country he knows well, then maybe he's going to have to take a hit personally. But I think this deal will still get done, or a deal for Romero. Hopefully, this will spark Barcelona into life. Like you're saying, they're looking at Kroupi for Alvarez if Alvarez doesn't happen. So they've got the money there. Hopefully, this little bit of stalling could alert Barcelona and say, right, we've got an opportunity here. So we'll have to wait and see. I still stand by that he'll be gone before the end of the window. He won't be back at Spurs at all. And hopefully Inter and Romero will come to a mutual decision and it will be a green light.
It's mad, though, like, all this stuff, he's advancing on Inter Milan this, Inter Milan that, and they just go and get John Stones off the free market. And that does sound like more of an Inter Milan deal to do, like John Stones on a free than, you know, paying us fairly big money for them for Cuti Romero. So it always was a strange one. But I don't know. I don't know if he goes to Inter now. I really don't. They've just got so many centre-backs on the book. I know they play 3 at the back, but they've got, what was that? That was about 5 good centre-backs that I've just mentioned. So
maybe another Italian team comes in. But it
needs to be an Italian team that's going to pay him the wages that he wants as well.
This is true with the Italian, the wages and everything. That's going to be a big obstacle, but we live and hope that someone will come through. And who knows with Inter, but I tell you what, it's great. It's a great deal for Inter. John Stones. It's a great deal. I love John Stones as a player. I think he's brilliant.
I wonder if Real Madrid come into play here, because I saw a report yesterday saying that Jose Mourinho wants one more centre-back before the end of the transfer window. And I think Mourinho would love Romero.
I think he would. But also I saw something, I don't know how true it is, that Real were looking at Bastoni. So maybe that's an out, and then Romero's, or maybe, like you said, Romero at Real Madrid. Both work, don't they? Both would do well under a Jose, a Bastoni, and then a Romero go to Inter, or Romero goes straight to Real Madrid. Perfect Jose defenders. Let's hope they come in.
Yeah, let's
certainly
hope
put the Barcelona link for Romero, though. That's maybe it'll snap Barcelona into life. Who knows?
Yeah,
the Daily Romero is going to be now.
It's going to turn in to the Daily Romero. But look, I guess watch this space. Inter Milan, the deal is on hold for Romero to go to Inter Milan after sealing John Stones. We'll have to see how it progresses from here. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today. It is time to get in to the predicted lineup. Tottenham away at Sydney, 10:45 tomorrow. God knows what kind of team Spurs are going to put out tomorrow. We did the predicted lineup for Auckland, and they said it was going to be a fairly young team, and we predicted a fairly young team, just not young enough, I guess. And he went very, very youth heavy in the Auckland game. I think there'll be more kind of senior players in the team for this game now that maybe the dust has settled and they're used to the time difference a bit more. So let's get into our predicted lineup and think and take a bit of a stab at it, see where we go. So obviously 4-2-3-1 as usual. And my thinking for the goalkeeper is that Kinski started the first game, Austin started the second game. So I've got a feeling that it will be Dubravka to start this game.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly who I was going to choose. Not with that methodology and thinking about it, but yeah, I completely wholeheartedly agree.
So we go Dubravka in goal. Now we go to the right back. So the first game we started Archie Gray. Second game was Ty Hall. Both having fairly good games, to be honest. What are you thinking at right back?
Not a goddamn clue. Not, in all honesty, because Archie Gray's played both games and started both games, hasn't he? So is Archie Gray going to get a rest and come on in the second half? Is he going to have another game where he's heavily involved? If so, where? I honestly, this right back is...
I think it will be Archie Gray, in my opinion.
All right, we'll go with you, because I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't have a clue, so we'll go Archie.
Unless he goes Ty Hall again, which he could do, could easily. Maybe he goes Kai Maraton at right back. I know he played left back.
See what the chat thinks. Let's have a chat position.
What did the chat think? Who do you think is going to start at right back? Look, let's go.
Cheers, Tony.
Let's go Archie Gray.
You're going Archie Gray?
We're going to go Archie Gray at right back.
Okay.
Then we're going to move into the centre-back situation.
You got to remind me who started the last game, because I can't. Who centre-backs? Because I can't. I didn't see the game.
So the last game was Malachi Hardy and Kota Takai. The first game was Kota Takai and Ben Davis.
Yep.
So I think Takai. Yeah, I think Takai might sit this one out. I think, I think Kevin Danso probably starts, so we'll put Kevin Danso in there. So it's just about who goes alongside Kevin Danso. Does he put a Van Hecker in there? Does he put a Van de Ven in there?
I forgot about
Ben
that.
Davis. There's options here for centre-back.
Joe, I think he might be saving Van Hecker and the Van de Ven for Chelsea.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So we do a Ben Davis.
Yeah.
Let's go for Ben Davis. Thought Ben Davis did really well when he came on, by the way, in the second half against Auckland. So we go Archie Gray, Danso, Davis, left back. I think we're going to see a first start for Andy Robertson.
Did he actually? Because I didn't see it. Did he come on at all in the game?
He hasn't. No.
Yeah, then definitely. Yeah. Let's go Robertson.
Because he's mentioned that Udogie has been struggling a little bit. Udogie has been in training in recent days, but yeah, I think Andy Robertson starts this game.
Let's go. Let's do it. I agree.
So we'll go Andy Robertson. There we go.
You got to get the number 3 on him. There we go.
There we go.
Look at that. Great minds.
So that's a back four of Archie Gray, Kevin Danso, Ben Davis, and Andy Robertson. In midfield, he did kind of suggest at the back end after the game that Tonali is going to start this game. So,
okay.
So we'll go Tonali there. Now, who's going to be alongside Tonali? Is it going to be Mateus Fernandes?
I was about to ask. Apparently, I saw a lot of people say that Fernandes came on and played really well.
Yeah, he was decent. He was putting on through really nice through balls, and obviously in the first game he scored that screamer.
Yep. Who else we got in midfield? So you got Tonali, obviously. You got what about Gallagher?
I think Gallagher's going to play in the 10.
Okay. Does Lucas Bergvall get a game here next to Tonali?
I think it is between Lucas Bergvall and Mateus Fernandes. I don't think Maddison plays this game.
Let's go Bergvall.
Will he start Bergvall, though, with the rumours of him potentially leaving? Like, he doesn't need to put him in the shop window if he's talking to clubs already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they might want to do it just so if he has a good half showing that he's fit and he's ready, it might push those teams to go, right, yeah, let's do it.
Or what it could be Gallagher in the 8 and then Jamie Donnelly in the 10. Or Luca Williams-Barnett in the 10.
Or the options. I've got a real feeling Bergvall starts, I have to say, but it's your party. I'm just merely a guest.
I don't think Bergvall plays.
Okay.
I really
so,
don't.
So what are you going for?
Let's go for Gallagher.
Okay.
Let's go for Gallagher in the 8. No, our number 8 in the 8. And now in the 10, we're basically got to pick. I don't think Maddison plays, so I think it's going to be between Luca Williams-Barnett and Jamie Donnelly.
I hope it's LWB. I really do. I really do. He's been showing this pre-season. He's getting rave reviews. Obviously,
Could be a half or either. A half of Williams-Barnett and a half of Donnelly.
I think he starts with LWB.
You think so? I think it's the other way around.
You do?
Look, I'm happy to go Luca Williams-Barnett.
Let's do it. What we should be doing, we get these horribly wrong. Whichever ones we don't say, we should pick the players that we don't mention. We stand a better chance.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go Luca Williams-Barnett in the 10.
Yep.
On the left wing, I think Matisse Tell retains that spot. Tell came on, was dynamite in the game against Auckland. So I think Tell goes on the left. Now it's about who goes on the right. I guess there's not many options. It's probably Manuel Solomon again, won't it?
He started every game. Did he start the first game? Oh, no, he came on the second half, didn't he? Or did he start?
No, he started. Yeah, he started. He started both games so far.
Every game. So you can start every game. There's, like I said, there's not really a lot of options, is there?
No, there's not.
Unless he plays Tell right, more left.
Could do that. Could easily do that.
So maybe that's an option if Solomon's played both games.
Because Solomon played 45 in the first game and then he played an hour or just over an hour in the second game. Yeah, shall we do that? More on the left. I like that.
There we go. Let's do that.
All right. Let's go. Mikey Moore on the left and Tell on the right. And then the forward. Who is going to be up front?
The kit man. Whoever, just it's so poor. The choice. It's so worrying with this. This is why, like we said, we need to go get this striker because it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, Solanke saw no minutes in the last game, did he? He didn't even come on. So I think Solanke.
There you go. I think that's nailed on that one. But it just highlights how badly we need a striker. You got Richarlison.
I went for Richarlison. No, it's Solanke. So they're a bit more of a recognisable teams with Dubravka in goal, Archie Gray, Kevin Danso, Ben Davis and Andy Robertson across the back four, Gallagher, Tonali in the double pivot with Luca Williams-Barnett in the 10, Mikey Moore on the left, Matisse Tell on the right, and Dom Solanke up top. And I guess this... Go on.
I was about to say, I actually would like to see... I think Tonali and Gallagher could be actually a very good combination.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Tonali will obviously bring a bit more on the ball, in my opinion, and I think they both will just like workhorses, aren't they? So it'll be a hard midfield to get through. And then I guess like moving into like the second half, you've got Malachi Hardy that can come on, but you maybe expect maybe a Van Hecker and a Van de Ven maybe to get a few minutes towards the end of the game. Maybe Ty Hall will come on at right back. Rio, Kaimarat and Destiny. In midfield, you can look at maybe potentially bringing on maybe Bergvall towards the end of it. Mateus Fernandes, I think, will come on. Jamie Donnelly will probably come on. And Richarlison maybe will come on in the latter stages of the game as well. So there is the potential to change a lot of things. Maybe a lot of the kids will see minutes towards the end of this game. But this is the lineup that we're going for. What are your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below? Do you think it will be more of a recognisable team like this, or do you think it will be more kind of youth being given a chance in this game again? But you would expect, like, as the tour goes on, like maybe it's a bit of a mishmash this game, and then in the Chelsea game you'll see maybe more of a strong team, maybe with Mateus Fernandes and Tonali starting together, maybe Maddison and Udogie seeing some minutes in that game as well. But this is the starting lineup that we are going for. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, people. We just had a super chat come through. Where is it? From Michael Hellman saying Romero is leaving on worse terms than Ndombele. Do you believe that? I don't know if it's. I don't think it's worse terms than Ndombele.
I love Michael Hellman dearly. I love him. But that's a big call. I think Ndombele left in absolutely horrific circumstances. Like horrific. The way it all panned out. Yes, he was lazy and all that, but also I think Spurs bought him for Poch, and then Poch never got to use him or didn't get the longevity to use him. But I can't agree with Michael there. I think Ndombele left under a much bigger cloud and worse circumstances.
I can't remember a player, apart from the obvious, that has left under worse circumstances than Tanguy Ndombele. He was pretty much hounded out of the club, wasn't he? Like,
I can't agree with Michael there. Let's face it. I mean, everyone. I was so pissed off with Romero when obviously the Nottingham Forest game and jogging back for that second goal, and then the injury and the whole Argentina when he was going to be at their cup fight. He's done some things which have soured. Put a bit of taste in the mouth, but I don't think it's anywhere near Ndombele levels.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So, look, I think that's pretty much it that we have for you guys today. Tottenham update and predicted lineup. We will be live for the watch long tomorrow, about 10:30 kickoff, 10:30 a.m. So very much looking forward to that. And please do come and join us on the fan show after the game as well. I mean, yes, last game, the fan show was always going to be a myth, 4 a.m. kickoff. But we are back with the fan show after the game tomorrow. So the link will be pinned to the live chat if you guys want to come on and have your say. Another members chat here, member for 29 months from KPV, saying, big up, lads. Jed Spence isn't for sale. Well, KPV said so.
Exactly. And when KPV says things, it's always gospel, isn't it?
100%. Except for when he's saying that Toby Alderweireld moved from, who is it? Southampton.
It was he keeps saying Atletico Madrid. He knows it was Southampton.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what he's on about. But look, we'll see you all very, very soon. A bit more content due to go out on the ball today. So go and check that one out. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.